Okay, so Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is lesson 3 of al-Ajurrumiyya. Now, today I'm not going to be covering the text word for word. What I'm going to do, I'm going to explain some concepts first, and then inshallah next week I can explain concepts. So, okay, so it says Babu ma'rifati alamat al-i'rab. So this is the chapter of recognizing i'rab. Okay, so recognizing i'rab is something which is important. Okay, and the reason for that is because if you don't recognize the i'rab, then you won't recognize how to recognize the word. Yeah, that makes sense or not? So you recognize things by the signs. Okay, so let's see if this is broadcasting on my page or not. Okay, so this is like it says للرفع أربع علامات for رفع. So like we said last week, there's 4 states that you need to remember: رفع, nasab, jar, and jazm. Okay, so the 4 states. So here we're going to explain how we recognize the 4 states. So first of all, if we go to this page, so a word basically has 4 states, like we said. Now the easiest way that I think I can come up with this is like this. So I'm going to write this down: Abu Zaid, Abu Zaid, al-Qadi, Kitabi, 2, so 3, Fir'aun, Muslimi. Okay, so these are basically 9 words that I've listed over here. Okay, there's 9 words. And these 9 words that I've mentioned, okay, these kind of sum up the different words that you need to remember, or what we call the mu'rab words. So you got Abu, you got Zaid, you got Qadi, 3, number 4, you got Kitabi, you got 2, 5, number 6 is 3, number 7 is 3, number 8, Fir'aun, Muslimi is number 9. Yeah, so these are 8 types of, or 9 types of words that you need to remember. So these words can be put into 3 states. So you have the nasab state, rafa state, and you have the khafad or jar state. So if you make a table like this, okay, it works like this basically. So let me just make some lines there as well. Okay, so basically it's like this. So this is, if you imagine, this is the rafa state. Rafa state. This is the nasab state. And this is the khafad or jar state. I keep writing jar, so I'm used to writing jar. So this is the jar state now. So these states that we have, okay, these states that we have, these are the symbols for these, or the signs for these. I'm going to write them in these tables here. So Abu, this is a type of word, right? This is a type of word. This type of word in the rafa state, it takes waw. In the nasab state, it takes alif. And in the jar state, it takes ya. Okay, so this is basically the sign. If you ever see the word abu, the sign that the word abu is in the rafa state is it will have a waw at the end like it has there. A sign that it's in the nasab state is that it'll have an alif at the end. Instead of waw, it will be alif. Right? So if I write this in small, aba, and in the jar state, it will be like this, abi. Okay, so aba, abu, abi. Okay, so these are known as the asma khamsa. Some call them the asma sitta, some call them the asma khamsa. The 5 words. So remember that. Okay, the asma khamsa. Okay, so like I said, if it's in the rafa state, it will be abu. In the nasab state, it will be aba, and in the jar state, it will be abi. Okay, the next. This is the second one. Okay, this word in the rafa state, it will take dhamma. Yeah, it'll either have 1 dhamma or 2 dhammas. So we're going to put dhamma. In the nasab state, it will take fatha. And in the jar state, it will take kasra. Now, if it has an al on there, then it will be a single dhamma, or a single fatha, or a single kasra. Yeah. So this is what we call the dhamma state. This is known as the fatha state. And this is known as the kasra state. Or kasra symbol, sorry. State, keep saying state. Okay, so for example, Zaydun. If this is in the rafa state, you say Zaydun. If it's in the nasab state, you say Zaydan. And if it's in the jar state, you say Zaydin. Notice the previous one, if it was in the rafa state, it was with the waw at the end, and nasab in the alif, and jar with the ya. But this one is different. If it's in the rafa state, it'll be with a dhamma. Nasab state, fatha. Jar state, kasra. Okay, so this rafa state, like we have it over here. This rafa state, this is for several types of words. Okay, this is for several types of words. I've called them Zayd. I've just said Zayd. This is the Zayd. Yeah, the Zayd pattern. Okay, and when I show you in the book, I'm going to point back to this. I'll say this follows the Zayd pattern. So I want you to remember that. If I say to you this follows the Zayd pattern, it means all words in the Quran or in Arabic language which take dhamma in the rafa, fatha in the nasab, and kasra in the jar. Okay, makes sense? Okay, I don't know if you guys are watching this or you're able to see this. I don't know. Alhamdulillah, hope you are. Okay, so okay, and if you are watching this, then come to my page. Watch it from my page so you can put the comments on there so I can see if you have any questions. And otherwise, I don't think I can see. I can't see any comments at the moment. So okay, qadi. This is another word now. The word qadi is what we call an ism manqus word. Okay, so I'll write this down over here. This is known as an ism manqus. Now, don't worry about the funky Arab names. Yeah, ism manqus. So basically, it's a word that has a ya at the end. Notice this ya. And before the ya, there's a kasra there. Yeah, there's a ya at the end, and before the ya, there's a kasra. Okay, this is symbolic of all those words that follow this. So the rule basically for this is as follows. If the word has an al, okay, then in the rafa state, there is a sukoon, there is no change. Just put no change. It's qadi, al-qadi. If it's in the nasab state, then it takes fatha. And if it's in the jar state, no change. Al-qadi. So you see, the rafa state and the jar state with the al is like that. If it has no al at the beginning, right, then it's like this, qadin. Yeah, so this is no al. Yeah, that's al, and qadin is the no al. It's got no al at the beginning. So in the rafa state, it's qadin. In the jar state, again as well, it's qadin. However, in the nasab state, it's qadiyan. Qadiyan. Fatha, two fathas. Yeah, so this is a kind of strange word. So if it has an alif at the beginning, then the rafa state, like that. And so these two don't change. These two do not change. It's qadi. It's only the fatha that changes. So remember this. The fatha is the one where you can see the symbol. The others you can't see the symbol. Remember, like we said before, hidden vowels like Musa, stuff like that. So this is kind of similar to that. Okay, next. Let's move on then. Okay, the next is a word which has ya at the end. And this is different from this, okay? This ya at the end, this is symbolic of all those words which have ya which equals my. You know, like you say my book. Kitabi means my book. Any word that has the ya, the pronoun, which symbolizes my. Rabbi, Baiti, Sayyarati. So Kitabi. So how do we identify rafa in this with this word? So rafa in this word, no change. Put X for no change. It's Kitabi. Yeah, Kitabi. So, no change, no change. So in all states there is no change at all. You always read it as Kitabi. There is no symbol chain or any sort of change. Okay. Okay, next. This is the dual. Okay, 2 times 2 symbolizes dual. Okay, so dual. So the rafa state, any word in Arabic that is for dual, like you want to say 2, then rafa is symbolized by adding ani at the end. Ani. Yeah, ani. Adding the alif and noon at the end represents the rafa state. The nasab state and the jar state are both the same. So if I just make it easy for myself and I remove the lines, they merge them together. Yeah. Are you guys understanding it? Yeah, no, maybe. Inshallah, pray to Allah that you guys understand it. So, ayni. So these two, the nasab and the jar, are both symbolized with attaching an ayni at the end. Okay, now notice, sometimes you add a single letter, sometimes you add 2 letters, sometimes there's no change at all, sometimes the change is identified by symbols, dhammas, fathas, kasras. It's a bit confusing, yeah? And I'm sure you're nodding, you're shaking your head saying, I don't understand this stuff. Don't worry about it, you're not the first to say that. Yeah, just take it easy, take a nice deep breath, inshallah, and just slowly absorb it all in. Okay, number 6. 3, this represents the masculine, so I'll put M for that. Plural masculine. So plural masculine words in Arabic. Plural, we call sound masculine. Yeah, plural sound masculine words. So these words, plural sound masculine words, in the rafa state, it's una. Yeah, una. And in the nasab state and the jar state, again, both of these are the same. So if I just make a line there, both these are the same. It's ina. Remember the other one was aini. This is ina. So slight difference. So in the rafa state, it's una, and in the nasab and jar state, it's ina. Okay, the third, this is what we call a sound feminine plural. So feminine sound plural. You're probably saying, what the hell is this, man? I didn't know Arabic had all this. Yep, Arabic has all this, and it has much more, guys. Yeah, you're in luck. Okay, so okay, now the third is feminine plural. So a feminine plural word. I'm going to give more examples of these, inshallah. But I just want you to understand them. Feminine plural words In the rafa state, okay, they take dhamma. Okay, like over there, like we said. In the jar state, take kasra, like we said in Zayd. The only difference is in the nasab state, it takes kasra. So if I should have done them both the same, shouldn't it? Okay, I'll do the same. So let me just out so I can keep it consistent. The nasab and the jar state are both the same, and you write it like this. You write it like kasra. So in other words, you don't put fatha symbol on there. It doesn't take fatha symbol. It's kasra symbol. Okay, so this is for sound feminine plural. Takes dhamma. Now what you can do at the end of this is you cut this out and you keep it with yourself. So every time I point at something, it becomes easy to follow. Yeah, so you can take a snapshot or something of it on your phone or whatever. Right, number 8. We're almost there. Fir'aun. Fir'aun is what we call a غير منصرف word. A غير منصرف. Now, I don't want to go into guys telling you what غير منصرف means and blah blah blah, this and that. That's not the whole point of this lesson. This point of lesson is just to identify. So there's something called a غير منصرف word. Fir'aun is one of them. Yeah, you know that guy, the evil guy. Yeah. So that evil guy, he's our example. Yeah. So he's an example of غير منصرف. So the word Fir'aun in the rafa state, it takes a single dhamma. One dhamma. In the nasab state, it takes a single fatha. Let me just join these together. In the nasab and the jar state, they both take a single fatha. So look at that. You can only take two types of vowels. Either a single dhamma or a single fatha. Yeah, so single dhamma or a single fatha. Okay, so it doesn't take kasra. Just like sound feminine plural couldn't take fatha, this can't take kasra. Opposite. Yeah, and you can only take a single vowel. So you can either say fir'aunu or fir'auna. And finally, muslimiyya. Okay, muslimiyya is basically a sound masculine plural. This, yeah, so put that there, plus ya at the end of it. Ya my Muslims. Muslimiyya means my Muslims, not your Muslims, my Muslims. Right, so in the rafa state, this word my Muslims, so it's not like them before. Kitabi, my Muslim, it's Muslims. Right, so this is muslimiyya, no change, and nasab state, no change, and in the jar state, no change. So it always stays as muslimiyya. So these are 9 types. So this is an easy way I find to explain to students. Abu Zayd al-Qadi, Kitabi 233, Fir'auna Muslimi. So you can all sing it with me. Abu Zayd al-Qadi, Kitabi 233, Fir'auna Muslimi. Okay, so you keep saying that, and you memorize it. So the whole point of having this is to make it easier for a student to memorize the rules of Arabic. Okay, so keep this all now. Take a picture shot of it. What do you call them? Snapshot or whatever. And now we're going to look at the Quran now. So we're going to look at the Quran of how this is used, and we'll also look at the text. But the text we'll look at more in detail next week. Yeah. So once you've got the idea of this, the text becomes extremely easy to understand. Yeah, very, very easy to understand. Okay, so let's go. So let's look at this now. Right, now if I say to you, I'm going to point out a word and I'm going to say to you, out of the 9, which one does this follow? Wal asri. So wal asr, it follows the Zayd pattern. So next to wal asr, write Zayd. In other words, in the rafa state, it takes dhamma. In the nasab state, it takes fatha. In the jar state, it takes kasra. So look, this has got a jar, hasn't it? So therefore, what state is it in? It's in the jar state. Innal insana, the word insan, out of the 9, Abu Zayd al-Qadi, Kitabi 233, Fir'auna Muslimi, what state is it in? Yeah, so this is in the Zayd. This is the Zayd pattern follows. So it's in the Zayd pattern. And what state is it in? This is the Fatha, so that's the nasab state. Okay, again, khusr. So khusr, Abu Zayd al-Qadi, Kitabi 233, Fir'aun Muslimi. So khusr, this is in the Zayd pattern, and it's in the, because it's got kasra, it's in the jar state. Okay, as-salihati. So as-salihati, this is the 3 feminine, sound plural feminine. Yeah, so this is sound plural feminine. Okay, number 7. Okay, so Abu Zayd al-Qadi, Kitabi 233, number 7. Yeah, so in there, look at number 7. In the rafa state, it takes a dhamma, and in the nasab and jar state, it takes kasra. It can't take fatha. Okay, so this either is in the nasab state or it's in the jar state. That's what we know. For now, you probably don't know which state it is in. Is it in the nasab or is it in the jar? But you know that if it takes a kasra, then it has to be in one of the 2 states. Okay, al-haq bil-haqqi. So the word haq, is it in the, is it out of the 9, which one is it? So this here follows the Zayd pattern, and kasra symbolizes the jar state, and sabr as well. Okay, so that's basically application of those. Now if we, let's say, if we go to another surah, let's look for a easy one that we can follow. Let's go to Surah al-Fatiha. Okay, so Surah al-Fatiha. Here we have Alhamdu. So Alhamdu, this follows the Zayd pattern, and it's got a dhamma on there. So therefore, which state is it in? It's in the rafa state. Okay, and Lillahi, the word Allah, Lillahi, is in the Zayd pattern. So it has a kasra, and therefore it's in the jar state. Rabbi, yeah, this follows the Zayd pattern, and it's in the jar state. Al-alamina, ina, remember a word that has ina at the end. So this is the sound masculine plural, right? And ina comes for the nasab state or the jar state. So in this case, it's either one of those. It's either one of those. Okay, ar-Rahmani, this follows the Zayd pattern. It has a kasra, therefore it's in the jar state. Ar-Rahimi, this follows the Zayd pattern. It has a kasra, so it's in the jar state. Okay, and like that, if you start going through them, you're going to start to identify. Now, it's going to be a bit difficult to identify what is what. So that's why you need lots of practice. You practice and practice and practice and practice. Right, so you take a table, you go through the Quran, and you try and identify it yourself. If you want to send it to me, yeah, you know, inbox me or something, and you want to show me what you've done, and I can correct it, that's fine, inshallah. If I get time, I'll try and do that, inshallah. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Let's go back to that screen again. Yeah, so this is to make you all aware of how in the Arabic language vowels change because of, so like this, like I said, jari, ramin, arrami, these follow the qadi pattern. Now you wouldn't have known that before, but now you know that, so you're going to be a bit aware when you start coming across Arabic text. So reading the Quran is easy because there's vowels on there already. But if there's a text that has no vowels on there, then what do you do? Okay, so let me just show you and then we'll finish there, inshallah. Okay, so for example here, babu ma'rifati. The word babu, it follows the Zayd pattern. Ma'rifa follows Zayd pattern. Alamat, it follows pattern number 7. Yeah, the feminine. I'rab, it follows the Zayd pattern. You're going to find most of them follow the Zayd pattern. Lil-raf'i, it follows the Zayd pattern. Arba'u follows the Zayd pattern. Alamatin follows pattern number 7. Dhamma, wal waw, wal alif, wal noon, all of these follow the Zayd pattern. Ad-dhammatu, Zayd pattern. Alamatan, Zayd pattern. Lil-raf'i, Zayd pattern. Arba'ati, Zayd pattern. Mawadi'a, this follows the Fir'aun pattern. Yeah, single fatha. This follows the Fir'aun pattern. Ism follows the Zayd pattern. Al-mufradi follows the Zayd pattern. Jam'i, Zayd pattern. Taksir, Zayd pattern. Jam'i, Zayd pattern. Muannath, Zayd pattern, etc., etc. As you go through, you'll see they're going to follow one of the 9, right? So you're going to apply them to that, and inshallah next lesson I'll apply the 9 into this, and slowly you'll start to understand it more and more. Yeah, so I hope you guys understood that. I hope that made sense to you guys, and if you got any questions, you can put your questions in the comments, and inshallah I can try and answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to go, inshallah. so no questions? Okay, Jazakumullah khair, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.